I was glad the offer was accepted, but it was like, oh my gosh, this is getting real. If there were just one word, I would say it's an adventure. I literally lived in a hotel and just made it my full-time job to go through a list of homes I had personally been looking at. There were ups and there were downs, and there was this. The biggest win was finding a community where we can be happy. I would sit there on my iPad and scroll through homes online. I would say, well, this one is really interesting and maybe it's something we could afford. Then I'd see some that would make me feel really depressed because they were beautiful, but I'd never be able to touch them, right? They were just way out of our price range. And I'd send some to my kids. I'd say, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Get their input, or show my husband. I did that for years. I did that for probably 13 years. The whole time that we lived in northern Nevada, I would always look at what was out there because I was dreaming and planning and hoping for the future. I wanted a one-story house with 3 bedrooms. I wanted 2 bathrooms, at least a 2-car garage, a workable kitchen, 1 story, and absolutely no pool. We're more dog people, and we did not want the burden of having to take care of a pool. Yeah, we got more than that here. But this house has more than that. We have 3 bedrooms, an office with built-in shelving, and we have a 3-car garage. The big bonus for us, something I wanted but I didn't know if I was going to be able to get, is the fact that I can go to a park. I can actually walk to a park. I don't have to drive there. I can walk there. To be able to be that close to a really nice park it's awesome. I grew up in a family that was very Italian when I was a little girl. It was not uncommon to be sitting in grandma's basement surrounded by people, having pasta and great Italian conversation. And when I met Ann, she just sort of exuded some of that Italian warmth that I remembered from my childhood. And so I felt a connection. We did purchase homes with realtors in other states. The biggest difference is Ann really wanted to get us a home, help us find a home that was something we would really enjoy. She tried to get to know us. She tried to get to know our tastes. I appreciated that. I wasn't just another person on the list to help that day. I was a person that she devoted that time to find exactly what was going to be what we wanted. When we were coming back here, because Ann had worked so hard. I think I flew out here 3 times to work with Ann to look for our first home. She just worked tirelessly, taking us around to different homes, different communities, entertaining every thought, every idea. They weren't quite me, then learning what was me. I felt like, she understood us. We came back to Ann because we knew that she would know what we would like. Anytime I'd see a house that hit all the check boxes, but it was $200,000 or $300,000 over what we were going to be able to pay, that would make me feel really sad. I'd be like, oh, maybe we can't move to California. I thought, how am I going to do that? How are we going to be able to afford what we want to do? I felt really good finding this house because I felt like this fit. It checked off all the boxes, and then we have that extra room we can devote completely to being an office, and then this great open floor plan. Ann is an earnest person. She does want to help you, and she does want to help you find exactly what you want. I think Ann works to learn what you are like and what you would enjoy, and she tries to hone in on that. Here's an example. The first time we came to Huntington Beach, okay. When we were looking, there was a home that I called the Brady Bunch house because it looked like it needed a lot of work, a lot of updating. And I told Ann, I said, it's in our price range, it's in a nice neighborhood, but I don't want to have this much to update over the years. We joked about it, but she learned that that was something I didn't want to do. She is positive and cheerful, and that I enjoy. She tries to make a connection with people because she genuinely likes people and has a zest for life.
Hi, I'm Ann Stefanucci. I just stopped by to thank my client for sharing her experience and letting me help her find a house. And if you're in Southern California and you're looking to buy or sell a house, give me a call.
I'm thinking of walking into one house that I had curated personally. The pictures online were beautiful. She was inside first. And I'm sort of taking my time making my way in, and I hear her and she's making a sound that lets me know that she's disapproving of a few things. And she said, well, I just don't see you liking this. And she was right. It was nice to have somebody confirm that because I was working alone. My husband was working, didn't have the opportunity to come on the house search. So having Ann be able to look and go, this just isn't you. And I don't think you want to deal with that. She could see that there were some problems. I appreciated that she felt she knew me that well, that she would talk to me very personally about it and express her concerns about things that she knew were not going to work for me. And she was right. She was real fast about making sure that things got done. There was no dragging in communication whatsoever. She'd text you, but then she'd call you to make sure you got the text. She'd email you, but she always made sure you got that communication. Did you see this? Did you read that? Did you talk to so-and-so? Did you fill this out? Whatever. She worked with our lender as well. We decided to do a mortgage for a portion of this home. They worked hand in glove, just together to make sure that, things were processed quickly because this was a feeding frenzy. She was just very quick and very responsive about all the other parts of the process, rolling along with getting the offer in, the counter offer and doing all the paperwork for the mortgage. I did interview several realtors before I decided to come back to Ann, just because I wanted to be as open-minded as possible. It was a phone interview with each one. While they were very nice people, I just didn't get the sense that they were going to work as hard as Ann. The house itself is on a quiet street, which is something that's hard to find sometimes, especially in Orange County. Beautifully redone. It just has a lovely, bright, open feel. I even like the paint color. It's called Bakery Box. Coolness to it and a brightness to it that sort of elevates the whole area. Every time I walked through the doors of any home I looked at, the first impressions were so important. This particular home, when I walked through the door, I was very pleased to see it was even nicer in person than it looked online, and that made me happy. We did pay more than we had said we were going to. We set a budget that was about $100,000 less than this house, but we also had saved diligently and we could go in our savings and do that. Yeah, the timing of it was really strange. We were planning on putting our house on the market right now. We sold it fast. We had to get out and do something. That's where we had a challenge. We got the proceeds from the sale and I looked at my husband and I said, see you later. I'm gonna go look for the house. So the timing was different than what we had anticipated. We thought we were gonna be starting this process in the fall. We're a little ahead of ourselves here, which is one reason why I'm not furnishing the house for a while. The thing I love most about this home is that it's a comfortable, safe community. I've met my neighbors, I've gone on walks to the park, I know what it's like all around me and how to get here and there. When I pull the shades at night and head to bed, I feel like I'm in a safe place. I would say that Ann will work her tush off to help them. I mean, she's a hardworking gal, and she cares very much about learning what you want and not imposing her thoughts on you. She'll give you her advice if you're looking for that, which I was. Sometimes I'd be second guessing myself. Should I do this or should I go for that? And so I appreciated that. Of course, I would recommend Ann to friends and family because I know that she would work hard to help them get exactly what they wanted. Getting that first home, the most important thing's budgeting and having someone who's willing to help you look for exactly what fits your needs in your budget. The people running the apartment complex are not going to care about your comfort the way you are going to care about your own in your own home. So when something doesn't quite fit what you like in your own home, you can change it, you can do something about it, and you can do it on your own timetable. But don't be afraid to buy your first home. I think it's a good thing. This is our 7th, and I feel like we made the right choice with the right people. I thought, Huntington Beach is going to be my first choice. Orange was going to be second. There's so many lovely things about Huntington Beach. As I'm here in Orange, I'm thinking, this was a great choice, And as my son tried to tell me, he said he thought it was a better choice for us because of the lifestyle he knew we wanted to have. And now that I'm here, I'm seeing, yeah, he was right. It represents an opportunity for me to bring my grandkids here for the summers, to have family outings to Disneyland, to the ball fields, hockey rink, concerts, the university for cultural activities. This is also for us to age in place. This is a place where we can do that.